Hello, I'm Disgruntled Danny, and welcome to another episode of Woke Watch. This week, I think I've found the wokest thing so far. A targeted effort to indoctrinate young children into woke ideology. There's a teacher and they run what they call woke kindergarten. Meet Akia Gross, who goes by the name Key. And even though they are clearly female, they use the pronouns they, them. In fact, this is how they describe themselves. I'm a queer, HSP, hyper-empathic, non-binary, Scorpio sun, Taurus moon, abolitionist educator and creator, pro-kid, pro-black, does not fuck with the patriarchy or white inferiority. I think they have ticked every woke box. I didn't know what HSP stood for, so I've Googled it, and it is highly sensitive person. So a nice way of saying overly emotional, screamy fuckwit. It's like Key is trying to win woke bingo. So on YouTube and Instagram, Key tells stories and recites their poetry, all of which follows the narrative, straight white man bad, everyone else is a victim. Also, fuck it, she wants children to learn to hate the police. So let's kick off with a photo from Instagram in which Key is recommending a book, and they say, comrades, so they're a fucking communist as well, what a time to be alive and fighting. So this is aimed at adults. However, if you are taking a selfie with a book, at least turn off the mirror on the camera on your fucking iPhone. Next, let's look at a woke word of the day: protest. We won't go through the whole thing, as I have no intention of inflicting such misery on you, dear viewer. But here we go. Many protests are peaceful gatherings of people who are tired of injustice. People who protest are called protesters. Protesters are brave. And in this photo, there's a baying mob standing outside the building they've just set fire to. They're not brave, they're bastards. And that's accurate, because not one of those little shits will know who his dad is. It continues. Sometimes protests become violent because police bring weapons that hurt and scare protesters. Sometimes they even arrest them. Shame on you, police, arresting the rioters, looters and arsonists. And Key is American. And forgive me if I'm wrong, but in the USA, don't many criminals also carry scary weapons? One of Key's poems is called Safe, and I'll just read one line. I feel safe when there are no police. And this is what this moronic they them is pushing on children as young as 3. What an utter piece of shit. Okay, so we know there are some racist police officers, but they're a racist everything. They're a racist greengrocers. And I don't differentiate between racism and what some people refer to as reverse racism or anti-white racism. If you judge someone based on nothing other than the colour of their skin, you're a fucking racist. And that makes you a wanker. Or a frigger if you're a she-her. See, I can be inclusive. However, if you don't want to encounter the police, racist or otherwise, it's very simple. Don't break the fucking law. Isn't that a better message to be teaching to young children? Don't break the law, don't join a gang, don't carry a knife or a gun. But of course that doesn't fit with the woke narrative, because to them, everything is someone else's fault. It's because they think like slightly retarded toddlers and act exactly the same fucking way. I watched another of Key's poems earlier this week, and I haven't watched it again because if I did, there's a fair chance I would take my own life. But in it, they explain that they are not a girl or a boy. When did reality become so problematic? And continues that if Diego, who I assume is a fictional character, wants to identify as a tree, then that's okay with me. If Diego thinks he's a silver birch or a horse fucking chestnut, he's mentally ill. He needs help, not praise. Speaking of which, there's Diego. Several parents have expressed outrage at the Woke Kindergarten YouTube channel because clearly Key is bark at the moon crazy 8 bonkers. And all this anti-authority, anti-straight, anti-white crap plays straight into the hands of the far right with their vile opinions that black people are criminals. So let's look at this photo again. Woke Kindergarten is promoting criminality. Woke people, please from the rest of us. Those of us who aren't trying to be divisive and making things worse whilst claiming to take the moral high ground, including Key and their abysmal attempts at poetry, please fuck right off. Everyone else, thanks for watching.